This is my old Xiaomi Mix 2 with broken buttons running Windows 11, and even though it is not really smooth and I was struggling with the drivers, but it's really crazy to see a operating system designed for desktops and laptops even boot on a phone hardware. And this is my first time trying this, and I spent hours trying it over and over again and even asked AI on how to install it properly. But the drivers are a disaster again because it all shows up as a unknown device, and USB hub literally makes the phone shut up on its own. But anyways, I'm going to show you guys how I installed it on my phone, and all I'm going to say, it is a very complex stuff to do. And what inspired me to do this, because I suddenly get bored and decided to search Windows 11 on Xiaomi Mix 2, and to my surprise, someone actually did it, and I'm genuinely shocked to see an Android phone that I own can run Windows. So I just searched more, and then I stumbled upon a GitHub website, and at that moment, I just want to do this thing. And by the way, you'll need a ARM64 Windows 11 ISO, but I cannot use a version that's newer than 23H2. They mentioned it in the website because if I did use a version newer than that, I will get a blue screen of death, because that's when things get stricter and tight like my mom. So I go ahead and get the ISO from Internet Archive, and since the official Windows 11 download site only has the latest 25H2 version, and I also got the pre-built UEFI that helped me a lot with the installation because it already has everything I need in a toolbox selection on the boot menu. So the next day I immediately came back from school and started working on this project, and everything went wrong at first. Then I immediately asked my best pair Jiminy, shout out to him though, a genius. And then I immediately got to work and used the programs and scripts that I provided, and after a lot of fixing and research, the path was clean and it's waiting for me to do it. So Jiminy said to repartition, but here's where it goes wrong, because there's no repartition flashable for the Mix 2, and I honestly struggled a bit at this part, and then a genius move saved me a lot by flashing the UEFI image, and then I just found the toolbox like I found oil or something that lets me repartition the partitions, because it acts like a disk drive with the mass storage feature. And Jiminy told me to make two partitions, one for EFI, one for Windows and other stuff, so I just did that using this part and commands that he gave me. And after that, I used the DISM++ program for installing Windows system files and drivers. But we got another problem, which is Windows refuses to accept one driver and ends up not booting, so I ended up reinstalling the whole thing, but this time without drivers, and to my surprise, it worked. And I was freaking out because I cannot imagine a Android phone rebooting Windows, and it looks crazy and unrealistic since it's my first time doing this and it's running off on raw hardware, not just on virtual machine, by the way. And honestly, seeing it even boot on it makes the tiny effort worth it, but it is not maintainable yet due to its bugs. But it's a fun thing to do if you have phones that has the Snapdragon 835 or whatever that's supported. But I was having so much problem during the installation, and like my life does. But anyways, that's for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you like this video or even my content, you can hit the subscribe so you won't miss my crazy ass new videos. And honestly, installing this was a disaster. But anyways, I'll see you in the next video. Yeah, bye guys.